single national identity. Throughout its history, though, this was hardly the case. The area that encompasses modern Nigeria is home to some 250 distinct ethnic groups, but the three most especially significant are
the House of Fulani, the Yoruba, and the Igbo. Under pressure from anti-slavery Christian missionaries wanting to spread civilization in Africa, Britain began to intervene in regional politics and annexed Lagos in 1861. Later treaties, in addition to war against the Sokoto Caliphate in 1903, led to the gradual expansion of two protectorates, which were merged into one colony in 1914.
After the unification of Nigeria, British officials announced that colonial rule would actually be a good thing for the many people under their influence. As the first Governor General of unified colonial Nigeria, Sir Frederick Lugard, put it, the British intended to fulfill a dual mandate.
This benefit of both the British and the native people of the region. However, European trading firms bought massive quantities of Nigeria's main exports, particularly palm oil and cocoa, but took virtually all the profits back to Europe, meaning that Nigeria received very little benefit for all its economic activity. Furthermore, they introduced the British pound to Nigeria and made it the only acceptable currency when trading with European merchants or paying British taxes. In order to pay the taxes, the Nigerians often had to work for British employers building roads, working in the mines, and doing other jobs that were often dangerous and never well-paying, as these jobs paid in British pounds.
In the 1930s, European-educated Nigerians began to clamor for reform. Herbert Macaulay, a journalist and political leader, used the newspapers to publicize his criticisms of the British exploitation of the Nigerians. He believed that the British weren't even trying to fulfill their so-called dual mandate, noting,
"The dimensions of the true interests of the natives at heart are algebraically equal to the length, breadth, and depth of the white man's pocket." His political party was eventually overtaken in 1938 by the Nigerian Youth Movement, a movement unique at the time in its hope to transcend ethnic divisions. Anti-British sentiments only increased during the Depression. For example, in the cocoa pool incident of 1938, the 10 European firms who bought almost all of Nigeria's exported cocoa colluded to pay less for it. The Nigerian Youth Movement publicized the scheme and helped show Nigerians how the colonial economic system was stacked against them.
After World War II, the British introduced political reforms intended to prevent militant nationalism from sweeping the colony.
This culminated in the 1954 Littleton Constitution, which provided a decentralized system of regional self-government with a central Nigerian government in Lagos. This paved the way for the 1959 elections, in which Nigerians voted for their first fully independent government. On October 1, 1960, Nigeria became an independent state and a member of the British Commonwealth.
Nigeria's first Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, proclaimed that day that Nigeria now stands well built upon firm foundations, but this declaration may have been premature. Nigeria was still economically dependent on Europe, and it still faced the so-called national question: how do we, Nigerians, from so many disparate ethnic backgrounds, now form a national identity? Nigerians did not address this concern immediately. Infighting among the different regions of Nigeria led to a military coup in 1966, the secession of the Igbo-dominated Eastern region in 1967, a subsequent 2.5-year civil war to reclaim the region, in which up to 3 million Nigerians perished, many of starvation.
Although Nigeria has since returned to civilian rule, it remains tied to Britain through the Commonwealth. Ethnic and religious conflicts, even today, still show that Nigeria has yet to fully answer its national question.